Hey, what's up everyone? Today we are going to build the functionality for the registration activity. So when the user arrives into this activity, enters the information, click register, and the information gets sent into the Firebase database. So at this point, the user can start using the application. So let's get started. I have the register activity already created, and I reference all the elements inside the register inside the activity register.xml. So next we are going to go into tools and then click on Firebase, and next we are going to click on authentication, email and password, and I'm looking for the step number 4, which is sign up a new user. This is what we're looking for. Highlight the code and do Ctrl C, and I want to place this code inside the listener for this button here. So I'm going to create that button. So it is register button, set on click listener, new view. So I'm going to Ctrl V to paste the code here. Notice that it is calling the create user with email and password. Alright, so next we need to create a reference to our database. So I'm going to create 3 variables here. One is to Firebase database, and I'm going to call it database. The next one, it will be to database reference, and I'm going to call this one M database. And finally, I need to create a Firebase authentication. Next, here at the bottom of the references, I'm going to say database equals to Firebase database get instance. Next, I'm going to say M database equals to database get reference, and this is going to get a reference to the user's child of the database, which I'm going to add here. Okay, and next we need to give a reference to M authentication. So what I want to do here is to create a method here called register user, and I'm going to move this boilerplate code, and I'm going to place it inside this method, and this is going to make things easier. So inside the onClick method, we're going to grab the user information. So I'm going to say string email equals to email edit text get text to string, and string password equals to password get text to string. So let's do some input validation here. So if text utils it's empty, email, or text util is empty password, then we're going to output a message to the user, because we need at least those 2 pieces of information in order to register the new user. And here we're going to return. If we get past this point, then we are going to grab all the rest of the information. So I'm going to say string full name equals to, and then we're going to say occupation equals to occupation get text to string. We also need to get location. We need to get phone, Twitter information. And I believe that's it. Another thing that we need to do, we need to create a user object. So we need to come here into our package name, right click and new Java class, and I'm going to call it user. Click OK. I'm going to click on Alt and insert, and I want to generate a constructor here. Okay, and I'm going to create those variables here at the top. And we need to create also full name, phone, occupation or profession. We need location. So I'm going to create another constructor here that takes all the variables. So I'll insert constructor, and this time I'm going to select everything but Twitter. Click OK, and that is my constructor right there. Next, I want to generate the getters and setters. So I'll insert again getters and OK. All right. So we're done with the user class. So let's go back into register. Let's create a user. So I'm going to say user equals user, new user. And I believe it's email, password, and location. So that will create the user. Next, once we have that information, then we're ready to insert the information into the database. But first, we need to call this register user. And I'm going to pass email and password. So in here, I want to say string email, string password, because we're passing two parameters here, and should be email. There we go. And I'll enter to import all the classes. And again, we don't need to update the UI if the registration was not successful. We need to change this to registration, register activity. And we need to create the update UI method. And it's going to take a user, Firebase user. I need to create a variable for tag. Let's do that. So here, instead of creating a local user object, I'm going to create a global user object since we need to use it inside another method. Okay, so inside the update UI, we're going to create a string, or to call a key ID. in database push and get key. And the next one will say in database child key ID set value user. And this is going to insert the user information. Next, we're going to redirect the user into the login activity. All right, so finally we're ready to run the app. So I'm going to click Run App, and I'm going to head over to Firebase Database. All right, so when the app opens, we arrive to the login screen. So the user doesn't have a login credential. It's not registered. So I'm going to click on Register, enter the information, click Register. And notice how the information for that user was added. Also, if we go into authentication, now the user was created too. And so that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, remember to subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next video.